The Paris Fashion Week crowd froze in shock as Meghan Markle stormed into Dior's private fitting room, uninvited. What was meant to be a quiet, ultra-exclusive preview turned into a scene of whispers, flashes, and chaos the moment the Duchess appeared at the door. According to multiple witnesses, Meghan arrived unannounced, dressed head to toe in designer chic, expecting to be greeted like royalty. But instead, she was met with blank stares and tight-lipped staff, one of whom reportedly told security, "She's not on the list." Within minutes, Dior executives stepped in, and what happened next left the entire room stunned. An insider claimed, Dior made it clear, she's no longer welcome. They don't want the drama, the cameras, or the chaos she brings. Another source added, she thought her name would open doors. This time, every door closed. Now, rumors are swirling that the fashion house has completely cut ties, quietly blocking any future collaborations with the Duchess. What was meant to be a glamorous comeback has turned into a public humiliation heard across Paris. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Dior's private fitting room was reserved for a select few, a space where the world's most influential fashion figures could preview upcoming pieces before they ever touched a runway or magazine cover. But what was meant to be a carefully controlled environment was suddenly interrupted in a way no one expected. Witnesses say the room fell into silence, conversation stopped mid-sentence, and every eye turned to the doorway as Meghan Markle appeared, unannounced, and without invitation. According to eyewitnesses, this wasn't a subtle entrance. Meghan walked in confidently, dressed in high-end designer clothing from head to toe, clearly expecting recognition, warmth, and admiration. Instead, she was met with cold glances and the kind of whispered confusion that spreads quickly in elite circles. People began murmuring among themselves, asking the same question over and over again, how did she get in here? Sources close to the event say Meghan arrived under the assumption that she still held the social capital of a working royal. But Paris Fashion Week is not a royal environment. It is a place where status depends on influence, consistency, and reputation. Many of the guests present were high-end designers, global buyers, ambassadors of luxury houses, and long-term partners of Dior. Being included in this particular private fitting is not just a privilege, but something planned months in advance. Meghan's name, however, was nowhere to be found on the list. One staff member, speaking quietly but firmly, reportedly turned to security and said the words that echoed around the room, "She's not on the list." In the world of luxury fashion, those 5 words carry more weight than a public scandal. Witnesses say Meghan stood there for a moment in silence, expecting the situation to correct itself in her favor. But no assistant rushed forward. No executive greeted her. No stylist pulled up a seat. The room simply paused and waited. This wasn't hostility. It was discomfort. Because while Meghan is undoubtedly famous, influence and invitation are not the same thing. And in the fashion world, walking into a space you were not invited to is considered bold at best, disrespectful at worst. At this point, Dior executives had no choice but to step in. They approached calmly, politely, and quietly, but the energy shifted. The executives thanked her for attending but made it clear that this event was closed and private. According to multiple accounts, Meghan attempted to explain that she had a relationship with the brand. But while rumors have swirled for years about her potentially becoming a Dior global ambassador, the brand has consistently denied any formal partnership. This moment, according to those inside the room, left Meghan stunned. It was as if, for the first time in a long time, she was being publicly reminded that her title, her image, and her influence were no longer automatic keys to the highest doors. And yet, the situation remained polite. There were no raised voices, no dramatic outbursts, just an unmistakable realization. This was not her space. The awkwardness only grew as the photographers outside got wind that something was happening behind the closed fitting room doors. Camera flashes began to go off in the hallway, and whispers spread like wildfire. Guests who had been speaking warmly moments before were now quietly observing Meghan, watching to see how she would respond. Some fashion insiders believe this moment highlights a deeper issue. Meghan has been seen navigating Hollywood, media, and fashion circles with the expectation that her former royal status still carries the same weight it once did. But the world has changed. Public opinion has shifted. And in spaces ruled by legacy, reputation, and authenticity, a title alone cannot open every door. Others argue that Meghan is attempting to rebuild her public image through fashion, luxury partnerships, and curated appearances. However, moves like this, arriving uninvited to one of the most selective events of the year, raise questions about strategy, preparation, and how she is being advised. Meanwhile, Dior has remained silent. The brand is known for its discretion and its commitment to exclusivity. That silence is its own message. It suggests that the event was handled professionally, privately, and without any desire for escalation. But the eyewitness accounts tell the human story. They paint a picture of a woman trying to assert her place in a world that may no longer automatically recognize her authority. They also show the delicate balance high fashion maintains between elegance and hierarchy. For those inside the room, the moment was unforgettable. It marked a cultural shift, a reminder that even at the highest levels of society, access must be earned, respected, and confirmed. Status, once lost or questioned, cannot simply be reclaimed by showing up. This story is still developing, and it raises many questions. Was Meghan misinformed about the invitation? Was it a misunderstanding? Or was this a bold attempt to reassert her presence on the global stage? Whatever the truth may be, the reaction inside that room sends a message louder than any runway finale. Influence today is not guaranteed. Reputation must be maintained. And even the most recognized names can find themselves standing at a door that does not automatically open. As more details emerge, this story will continue to unfold. But one thing is certain, Paris Fashion Week will not forget this moment anytime soon. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay updated on everything happening behind the scenes in celebrity culture, media power, and high fashion politics, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Your support helps us bring you the stories others won't tell. Stay tuned, there is always more to uncover.